One of the subjects of this video will be the cleaning and the varnish tests I performed to find out which solution works better for this painting. I tried several solutions and got various results in the cleaning and in the varnish removal. But in collaboration with one of my professors, we also tried different approaches. During this video, I will show you in more detail. This is a very old painting and the varnish is already very oxidized, which means it's very hard to come out. I already tried several approaches, but in conversation with my professor, we found out that we will have to try other approaches. And here we are trying one of these methods that works very well.
You already made the gel or just
No,
apply?
it's just free solvent.
So here my professor just applied a little bit of free solvent in this little piece of paper, of tissue, that acts during some time on the over the varnish. So here my professor is making some pressure, but also some heat. We try, but it's still not coming very well out.
Not yet, eh?
So it will take longer than we thought, huh?
So here we are trying again only with free solvent, and we are going to let it act for a longer time to see if it can dissolve more the varnish layer. So we will wait some time more. It's important to apply some pressure so the contact is always complete. And now it's working a little bit better.
Better, huh?
Still a little bit longer.
So it's clear that this has to be the way that will work better to remove the varnish, because you see those spots there are the tries I made, but they didn't work very well. I had to make a lot of mechanic action, and that's not so good.
This is the gel.
Here we are trying the approach with the gel, and this gel, it will definitely work better. We apply the gel over the tissue paper, and I apply some pressure here. I let it act for some time, but because unfortunately my phone did lost the battery at that moment, I thought it was recording and it was not. So I wasn't able to record the removing of the tissue paper. Anyway, here it's clear that the process with the gel will dissolve better in the first stage, the varnish, and then it becomes easier to remove it with the swab. Later in this video I will be back with more of the cleaning and the varnish removal tests. However, before that, I had to take several other steps for the structural stabilization of the painting. After scrapping and more scrapping I had to do to remove the horrible patches that were applied with lead white glue on the back of the painting, and that you watched on the two previous videos about this project, there are two crucial things I have to do. First, I need to flat the borders of the canvas, and then the incrustation. But let's go first to the flattening of the borders. So to flat the borders of the canvas, it's necessary to apply some heat, but also some moist. So the moist is on this cloth that I put over the borders of the canvas, and it's natural that the canvas has this position because it was all these years attached to the stretching frame. So it gained that corner, but obviously to avoid any further accident, it's important. It's absolutely important that the canvas is all at the same level, and this is what will allow also the further procedures to be done in a secure way.
Now I'm going to put flat these areas.
And the technique that I'm applying here is called incrustation, and basically is making the encapsulation of a piece of canvas that I do cut on the shape of the hole that the original canvas of the painting has. And before I do that, there are some points that are extremely important. For example, the canvas that I'm going to apply must have the closest weight as possible as the original canvas that the painting has. And when I speak about weight, I want to say that there are canvas that are thicker than others. So, for example, if we go to a art store, there are canvas number 10, number 8, number 5. And this means that, for example, the canvas number 10 is thicker than the canvas number 5. And thicker in terms of the threads are stronger than the canvas number 5. This makes that canvas number 10, for example, much heavier than the canvas number 5. For example, normally paintings are painted over canvas that are different, some stronger, some thinner. When we apply this technique of the incrustation, we have to try to find the canvas that is the closest as possible to the original one, because even after the incrustation, when even we apply a little bit of putty over it or gesso, but if the canvas is very different or heavier than the original one, it's going to be always very easy to notice the retouch that we apply. So one point that we need to have in consideration always is to try to apply a canvas that is the closest as possible in terms of weight to the original one. So to glue the new pieces of canvas into the holes, I'm using here a thermoadhesive in powder that I try to apply in the conjunction of the original canvas and the new one. So this thermoadhesive goes in between the new canvas and the original, and then I apply some heat with a hot spatula for some time. So basically this powder will melt and it will form an adhesive that will consolidate the new and the old canvas. This is a very nice process. It's totally reversible, but it's one of the processes that we use more here in the department.
Kan biri aldım da gezerek ki bak. Bunu bir geldi. Bak hadi geldi gelin. Nee, moet
Maar ik
je
moet aan een overkant gaan zitten. Dus
Ah ja, oké.
ik zal eerst uur.
Ik ben nog niet snijden.
Toch niet zoveel groter, hè? Klein beetje, maar.
Breedte en de hoogte.
Ja.
Met de lessen lijkt het al zo bijna in.
Ja, die zijn gewoon op maat gemaakt, hè. Dat is de kleinere, dat is de grote. Dat is rechts. Maar kom, we gaan die eerst eens uitspieken.
Oh, lastig. Ik kan straks nog met tranen in mijn ogen eruit.
Jij mee vast? Ja, want hij beweegt niet. Doe niet veel, hè? Raak. Zou die vastgezet zijn? Ik weet het niet.
This painting I'm restoring now doesn't have any signature, so I cannot link it directly to a specific painter. However, I know and see that it is a Dutch school painting, meaning that this painting was created in Flanders, applying Flemish techniques in use at that time. This painting is probably more than 300 years old and has a religious motive, as many old paintings do here in Flanders, which has an explanation. I am very grateful I can live in this beautiful city of Antwerp, and it is a pleasure for me to study and research about the city where I live. The 16th century saw the rise of the Counter Reformation, a Catholic response to the Protestant Reformation. This movement reinforced the importance of art in conveying religious themes to reaffirming Catholic doctrines. The Council of Trent in 1545-1563 decreed that art should inspire pity and convey clear religious messages. This led to increased commissions for religious paintings to decorate churches and public spaces, promoting the Catholic values. The Flemish region, particularly cities like Antwerp, was economically prosperous due to its position as a major trade and commercial center. This wealth allowed patrons, including the church, wealthy merchants, and civic institutions, to commission elaborate and high quality artworks. Wealthy patrons funded the creation of religious art to demonstrate their piety, status, and support for the Catholic Church, leading to a flourishing of religious paintings. There was also innovation and talent. The Renaissance brought about the renewed interest in naturalism, humanism, and classical techniques. Flemish artists like Jan van Eyck and Peter Paul Rubens were at the forefront of these developments, blending detailed realism with religious themes. Flemish painters were known for their technical skill, use of oil paints, and attention to detail, which made their religious paintings exceptionally vivid and emotionally engaging. These qualities helped religious paintings resonate deeply with the viewers. Catholicism was deeply embedded in the cultural and social fabric of Flemish region. Religious art served as a daily reminder of faith, morals, and the divine. Religious paintings were central to public and private worship, processions, and religious festivals. They reinforced community identity and collective beliefs through shared visual narratives. They also had an educational function through visual storytelling. Many people didn't know how to read during this period, and religious paintings served as a visual narratives that conveyed biblical stories, the life of saints, and the theological concepts. Paintings were used to educate the faithful, teach moral lessons, and promote religious contemplation and devotion. There was also a political contest. The 16th century was a period of significant religious tension and conflict between Catholics and Protestants. Religious art became a tool for the Catholic Church to assert its presence and counter the Protestant rejection of images. Religious paintings were used as a form of propaganda to reinforce Catholic power and influence, particularly in regions where Protestantism was gaining ground. In conclusion, the abundance of old religious paintings here in Flanders is due to these reasons. These paintings were not only masterpieces of art but also powerful instruments of religious expression and communication. Deeply integrated into the social and cultural life of the time. The strong presence of religious paintings in the Flemish region during the 16th century can be attributed to a combination of religious, economic, artistic, cultural, educational, and political factors. These paintings are not only treasures of the past, but also enduring symbols of the city's rich cultural and spiritual heritage. It is time to prepare the working frame for the new linen. I draw between two threads of the new canvas a line, and I make these lines around the old painting. This will allow that when I stretch the new canvas on the working frame, it will be well aligned and the painting on the perfect position aligned with the orientation of the new linen threads. And the new canvas is already stretched on the working frame and it's aligned as you can see. So the lines that I draw work here as a reference. And here I apply also this tape, this yellow tape that marks the margin where I will apply the, the adhesive. So the painting here is with the facing and it's already waiting for the next procedure that should be applying the adhesive and go to the vacuum table. But because we are in Belgium, and in Belgium the weather is very unpredictable, and it started to rain, and the adhesive must be applied outside because it smells very heavy and it's not healthy at all. So we do it outside, but because it is raining, there's no way. So I have to apply time that I was going to do that in another thing. So that is why I'm going to proceed with the cleaning and the varnish removal tests. Actually, because it's raining, but we do have the doors open, we got two visitors here in the department, but this is not the right place for them. So we are going to try to put them again back to the nature. Before we continue, I would like to make an announcement. This channel is my passion. I love art conservation and restoration, so I love the videos I make for here. I love this channel. But a lot of you know me almost since the beginning of this channel and know that I do have several other passions. And it was very difficult to hold myself, but I decided to create a second channel. And yes, I'm totally crazy. But in this channel, I plan to share with you the visits I make to fine art fairs, auction exhibitions. So once in a while, I may speak about chateaus or other painting exhibitions or even gardens. So this is a channel for someone that likes to see beautiful objects of art. So if you think this may be your case, after this video, have a look on my second channel. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoy it. I see you there, and let's go back to the painting. So now here we are opening a window on the facing, and here it's going to be the place where I'm going to perform the tests for the cleaning and the varnish removal. This is important just to find out which solution and which concentration will work the best.
She's okay. Now we have a hole.
Although this painting is yellow, this yellow comes from the oxidation of the varnish. So the painting really it's not dirty. I tried several solutions to clean, but the result was always not so very conclusive. And in fact, my cotton swabs almost with every single solution, they almost always came clean. Only here I got a little bit of dirt, and it is a solution that probably I will use because I think it was the only one that I got some result, but that was only in a specific area. And here I'm cleaning any residue of glue that was gluing the facing, so the surface remains very clean for me to perform the tests. I apply, and now I try already a solution, but I don't get any result with this one. And I apply this piece of paper as a reference to know exactly the place where I already performed the test. So the next test is not on the same area, but I don't get any result, even with a lot of mechanical action. So this means this is a very stubborn varnish. I will have to apply the tissue gel technique here to remove this varnish. Here I have some results, and here I apply some moist so I can remove the facing in this specific area. I leave this corner with facing because, as you can see, there is a tear there, a small hole in the tear. So I want that to remain stable, so I don't remove the facing there. But on the rest of the area here on this square, I will remove it so I can start partially remove the varnish in some areas. And here I'm applying the technique tissue gel, that basically is a piece of tissue, a special tissue, that I impregnate with the gel that I made based on the solution that it got the best results on the removing of the varnish. This tissue is applied over the paint, over the varnish layer. I let it act for some time, and then I remove. When I remove, I can see already pieces of varnish on the tissue. And with a cotton swab with solvent, I remove the varnish that now was activated by the gel and comes off much easier, as we can see. You can see here already the color of the painting that is under the varnish. And here we see already the difference of the yellow of the varnish. With a cotton swab with a neutralizing solution, I neutralize the, the action of the gel, and I can proceed with the next area to be treated and remove the varnish. And fortunately, we got a day that it's not raining. It's not sun, but it's better than nothing. And it's good for finish the works that we need to finish outside. So I can now apply the adhesive on the back of the canvas, and this adhesive needs to be warm, but since we are outside and it's not so warm, the adhesive gets solid very quickly. But we try to apply it as fast as we can, and we apply on the back of the canvas, but we also have to apply on the new canvas that we are going to use to reline this painting. The solvent that is present on this adhesive has to evaporate, and once it is totally dry, we can take the painting to the hot vacuum table. This table we have here in the department is big, so we can make 2 paintings each time. The restoration of this painting that I'm working now is a complex project because it has a lot of different actions that need to be done under a specific order. The painting is now being relined and further steps will come. I have several projects to show you, and later I will be back to this project, but for now the restoration department will be closed for summer vacation. Like I suggest before, have a look on my second channel. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, stay well, and I meet you on the next video. Bye!